since Spacies.
Okay, so it is day 2 and we got a fair bit of sleep last night after a pretty full-on travel to Japan from Australia. It took us pretty much a full day to get to Australia with the stopover, which meant that we only had 4-5 hours sleep in 24 hours. So anyway, we made up for that. We're now much better off. We're going to Kodakuchi Temple. I think that's the name of it. It's a cat temple, so we'll see how that goes.
新宿に到着です。バスの内容をお降りください。
ご乗車ありがとうございます。
Okay. This is just B-roll. I'm not going to actually use the audio. It's okay. I've been to a lot of temples. I'm kind of over temples, but this one is a little different. Seems to be a temple that is dedicated to the Nico cats. Don't know what I mean? Check this out. Well, this is the first scenario like this I've ever seen. Cop car needing to get somewhere but can't because nothing stops the rail crossing. And he might be there for a while. Anyway, I just thought that was weird. Yeah, you don't see that every day. We're in the middle of Shinjuku station and then I'm just trying to work out where to go, and as I'm walking down I just heard this dude, blonde hair, white as me, yelling out, "I hate this place." I just laughed and he got his attention. That's it, that's the vlog. Okay, we have just checked in to the Onsen hotel. Everyone has scrammed. We've got 2 adjacent rooms. Nothing exciting, but I thought I would show you what a typical onsen hotel is like. And sorry to break your expectations, but they are kind of old and run down for the most part. I mean, they're not run down to the point where they're not comfortable. It's just that don't expect modern flash, you know, fixtures, etc., etc. So this is the bathroom. You're not going to do much in here because you're here for the onsen, not for the bath. Toilet in the onsen's bathroom, which is a little... No, actually, no, that's typical. I've seen it before. Then you've got your on the ground... I don't know what you call them officially. They're doonas. I just call them doonas. That's an Australian term. Work with me here. Like my new jacket. Ooh. Anyway, moving on. And this is the room. This is it. So we've got the 2 beds. You got another bed here, which is a sofa. You could double that as a bed. And I don't know really what else to tell you here. There's not much to show you. The TVs are all old, like this Bravia here from probably 2008, I'm guessing. The fixtures, the furniture are old. I'm not trying to rubbish the place, but I'm just trying to put your expectations and set them to a more realistic expectation when you come to Japan, that you'll find a lot of hotels are still like this, and you won't find a USB charge point. It's just maybe on the TV if you're lucky. So yeah, that's a quick tour of a typical Japanese hotel. Yeah, g'day. It is cold. It's about 3 degrees. I think it's going to get down to 2, and in about a half an hour's time we're expecting snow. We were just at an onsen, as you can see there in the distance, the hotel village, and as we're walking out there was a sign saying there have been bears spotted in the woods, so be careful. So guess what we're doing? We're going into the woods. Here we go. Okay, so one thing I've just noticed, that view, it looks cool. It looks, you know, very picturesque. But then when you put it on the camera, on the phones, it looks, oh my God. This, okay. Oh my God. It just makes you wonder, what are they doing with smartphone cameras? They're just giving everyone a false sense of reality. I mean, it looks cool and all, but It's not reality. It looks cool. I can't stress that enough. But I think it's the vivid colors on the shots. They just really punch out all the blues and the reds and the greens to the point where it looks more like a manga cartoon or anime, and it doesn't look like real life. All right, that's old man whinge. I'm gonna get out of here before Akuma appears. Yeah, just confirming, and on the way back we did spot some bear shit, so probably not a good idea to hang around there because it looked kind of fresh. So yes, and that answers the question, does a bear shit in the woods? Yes, it does. They said today was going to snow, and they said it was going to snow in about half an hour's time. I'm no expert being from Australia on snow, but it doesn't really look like it. We'll see. Anyway, I'm being hailed. Okay, so we've got into the main town itself. This is a whole town just purely dedicated to onsens. And as soon as you get in the town, the smell of sulfuric acid just starts to fill your lungs. It's not that super strong, but it's noticeable. But the deeper you go into the township, definitely is noticeable. And there was a bit of steam coming out of the drains there just beforehand. And I think we're going to see a bit more of it. The wind's starting to pick up. It's 5 degrees, and I think we might end up seeing that snow soon. Anyway, that's all for now. Okay. Starting to get towards the main attraction. Oh wow. I read about it, I saw the photos, but it doesn't do it justice until you see it for yourself. So, the general gist of it is that all the water comes out from the volcanoes below, and from what I've read, it comes out at 50 degrees, and they need to cool that down to get it piped into the local township. So it goes through these huge channels to try and help with the cool down process. And then it's distributed to all the onsens in the area. It's quite cool. Anyway, I'm gonna move around and look around. So bright. It smells not that crash hot. And I just almost saw my wife crash it just then. So they say you can't drink it. I'm not going to challenge them on that. I think I'll take their word for it. It's a strange colour though. It's like a green, aqua green, and yeah, it comes out at about 50 degrees. So if you go in there, it's going to be one of the hottest baths you'll ever have. That steam is not just for show. These are the channels I was talking about before. So the water comes out from the top, and then it is allowed to cool down by coming down these channels here, and it's collected at the bottom, and then it's distributed to the onsens. So this area here is like essentially the main pickup area for all the source of water for the onsens. Everywhere we go, there's always guaranteed to be a temple, and this place is no exception. God, I can't get my words out. I'm forgetting English. Yeah, that's the temple. Very small. That's a pagoda, that's not actually a temple. The temple's this building over here. We had to walk up, I think it was 200 steps. And no, I'm not exactly fit at the moment. Anyway, just me having a whinge. Alright, so tonight we'll be staying in a log cabin. And it's in a forest that's had bears in it. Like you could actually see the bear poo. I don't know if this is a good idea. I know I'll be staying inside. I don't want to challenge a bear. I'm not up for it. Last night, the onsen was good. The onsen, the hotel itself was a little bit 80s, a little bit old. It's a shame if they could get those, hotels and renovate them. They'd be 5 stars. There's no problem with giving them a 5-star if they had modern amenities. But when you go in there, it's like stepping in time, back in time. Back when the economy here was at its peak, Japan. And now they're just like refusing to update or renovate. It's just such a shame. You see it everywhere. And they can get away with it in some places. But when it comes to the hotels, yeah, some of these hotels really need to be told, you guys have got to update to keep up. But otherwise, it was good. The onsen was awesome. The onsen was fantastic. All right, anyway, so tonight, Brian versus the Bears. We'll see how that goes. Okay, we were supposed to be going to a log cabin, but we've had a change of plans. We couldn't get the log cabin for all of us, so part of us are going to the log cabin, but me and Mr. Spacies are going to be staying in this place. Check this out. It's got its own tatami room and a proper size wash area. Bathroom is acceptable. And double bed. This is a slightly better room than what we had last night. So, yay. And I'll show you guys the view. This is pretty cool. It started snowing. Check this out. Whee! We were just there this morning and it was kind of warm, but, well, when I say warm, the sun was out at least. But look at it now. It started snowing from out of nowhere and it's starting to turn into winter wonderland out there. Okay, that was all. And I'm going to go now check out the log cabin. I don't know if it's actually a log cabin. We'll see. It's a cabin. Alright, that is all. Oh, bonus footage. I won these two. I won Charlie Brown and Woodstock in the one coin on the crane machine. They both fell down. I never win anything. I finally won something. Anyway, back to the video. Okay. It actually is a log cabin. Hoo-hoo! That is so cool. And it's snowing. I'm getting out of here. Oh, wow. So right now it is 6 p.m. and it is -1 and it is freezing. But look at this view. This view is fantastic and it smells. There's no getting away from the smell. But it is such a surreal experience to see this in person. And basically, as I explained before, all of what you see behind me is what is basically the supply of all the onsen water for all the onsens in this area. It's pretty freaking fantastic. After taking photos for about last 10 minutes, my hands were freezing because it is about -1 degree. But the water in here is 45 degrees. So this is the quick way to get your hands back to normal. It's so cool. Okay, it is day 7. I think today's day 7. I've lost count. We just stopped at a roadside convenience place, and I just wanted to talk about the onsen experience last night. Okay, so first off, it was my second time having an onsen experience in the snow, outdoors. That was cool. That was super cool. However, something happened after I got out of the onsen. So I was wrapping up and I thought, okay, time to get out, time to get showered down and then dressed up. I don't want to give you guys too much of a visual. Anyway, so as I'm going up to get showered, the door opens up in front of me and this 60-year-old looking dude, very skinny, comes towards me, tattoos from here down. Now, if you're from America or Australia, tattoos are not a big deal, but here in Japan, entering an onsen with tattoos is still kind of forbidden. That was the first time I've ever seen anyone tatted up entering into an onsen, and I just looked at him. He didn't even acknowledge me, just walked right past me, and it was just kind of weird seeing, yeah, he has to be Yakuza. There was no, unless he's a fan of Yakuza and he didn't get in. He had to have been Yakuza. He was of the age for when Yakuza was very big, and he had all the, like, if there was a movie and they needed to cast Yakuza-like people, he's in. He was definitely in. So anyway, that's what happened to me last night. It was a very cool onsen experience. The hotel itself, awesome. They just need to renovate the rooms. That's it. If they could renovate those rooms, it would be a 5-star. It's a 4-star, just based on that whole room thing alone. But otherwise, I gotta get back to the car. Bye. It is day 8 and we're just walking to a park. Nothing fantastic. I haven't been doing much of this vlogging nonsense because I've been sick, but now I am actually feeling a lot better. And we're going to be checking out a book off. Haven't done a book off at all. Hang on, check this out. This is so cool. I don't know what that is, but it's like a carpentry shop. Anyway, that's so cool. Anyway, back to me. So yeah, we'll be heading to book off today, and that's it. But we're going on a road trip tomorrow, so that should be exciting. Otherwise, back to the video. Oh yeah, one thing we saw just before, it wasn't here. This is quite a large river compared to what we saw. It was like a canal, and we saw some turtles in the middle of the burbs, and some koi, and some crane. Well, I'm actually ducking down onto this. This is quite low. And yeah, it's amazing how much nature is in the middle of these suburbs. You wouldn't think so, as I look onto some duckies in the water there. It's kind of cool. I wish they did more of it. We need more nature, more trees. Actually, there's a distinct lack of trees in Japan's suburbs. That's one thing I would like to see improved about Tokyo in particular. Tokyo has a very distinct grey beige look about it, and I'd like to see some more green in there. Anyway, ciao. We got some Harvest Moon style action going on here. That's cool. More of that. I want to see more of that. Just changing the topic a little. With this camera, it's pretty cool. The only major gripes I've got with the camera is the grip. Moving the grip to do, you know, front facing, backward facing, it's not as smooth and as easy as I'd like. Whereas that DJI, you just press a button and boom, it goes front. Press it again, boom, it goes back. But you pay $600 or $500 for that luxury. So, can't get over how narrow these roads are. So, I don't know if it's worth that for having that handy feature, but that DJI camera, I am envious of it. It is very, very small and compact. I do like this camera. I do like the Sony. This is a ZV-1F. Entry level, cheap as chips. I got mine even cheaper because it was a return, and then they ran out of the returns, so they gave me a brand new one for the price of a return. Bargain. But yeah, this camera's been good so far. Oh, got that on camera. Cool. All right, bye now. Okay, so this is Tora. And Tora lives in this park. As you can see, it's a quite green open area here, and a lot of the cats in this area were rounded up and taken away, but they spared Tora. And Tora is a boy, and you can tell because he's been desexed. And when they desex the cats here in Japan, they mark the ear, and you can see, if you look carefully, the right ear has been clipped to indicate that it's a boy. If it's a girl cat, it will be clipped on the left. And the story goes that Tora was taken home by someone. They wanted to claim the cat and give it a better home, but Tora just did not like being trapped inside a house and kept wanting to go outside. So they ended up putting Tora back, and this is where Tora lives today. And it's looked after by locals. I do not know where it sleeps at night. It must get freezing cold here. But every afternoon he comes here to this section and catches a few sun rays. And he's a very friendly cat. He's quite approachable. And at the moment he's just busy cleaning. But we did a full lap of this park, and when we came back he was still here, and he approached us. But now I've got to say bye-bye to Tora. He seems to keep off the road. So you got the pathway here, and you've got the road traffic here. Hey Tora. But I think it's time we said goodbye. Hey Tora. You're not going to say hi. Tara. Bath time, huh? Okay. Alright. Bye bye. So disappointingly small. That's what she said. Anyway, come around here. And this is all the gaming section. And this is the Switch area, but there's not much on offer there that I want to get, except I will be picking up this, which is Shin Megami Tensei 5. And I don't know what's in there. I don't think it supports English, but I don't care. The limited edition for that price. It's not going to focus. Anyway, the price is 3,900 yen. It's only 500 yen more expensive than the standard edition. And they don't have much here that I was after. And this is their display cabinet. Usually they have a few display cabinets, but this is all they got. There's a small section here for Switch, which is a bit disappointing. The reason why this location is not very big on games is because it relocated, and I think they just took all the games from the old store, which was the old store was so good, and I think that they took it all and made it available all online. Oh, that's 13 Sentinels. I picked that up on Switch. Awesome. Anyway, that is all. That is my book off experience today. Not good. Disappointing. I give it 3 out of 10. So we just spent 15 minutes waiting to see that tower there behind me light up. Apparently it was to celebrate 2 high schools, I think. 2 schools amalgamating together. One school had a white uniform, another one had a blue uniform, and now their new uniform is Sakura color, which is kind of cool. It was just annoying that it took him 15 minutes of ceremonies and speeches just to light it up. But yeah, that was a thing. Anyway, we are going to a place called Oasis. Behind me is some kind of spaceship looking thing. It looks like the Enterprise. Looks kind of cool. You can definitely tell that this is a much less populated city. It is 2.5 million, I think, which is like half the population of Sydney. And so far the people here seem kind of chill. Down here looks really cool. So we're going to be checking that out. Yeah, so let's get on with it. So on top of that spaceship looking thing that I was showing you just before is what they call the Galaxy platform, and that's where I am right now. Really cool view of the city from up here, and it's not busy at all. It's actually very quiet. There's probably at tops 20 people up here on the whole platform, and the whole platform stretches about 70 meters long, and it's a good view of the city. So if you come to Nagoya, come check out the Galaxy platform at night. It's really cool, and you get good views of the tower there behind. I've forgotten the name of the tower. I'm so bad. I'm a bad host. The cool thing is you can actually see through the water down below, through to the stage and food court and everything else going on down below. I'd hate to imagine how much weight just this little bit of water is adding to the structure, but they did it because they could. Gotcha, 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 gotcha. So many gachapons. Throughout Japan, you'll see many of these Ghibli stores located in most of the major cities in Japan. And if you get a chance to get inside one of these stores, you should take at least 10 minutes of your time to go through everything that's in here, because there are so many cool items in there. In fact, some of them are very new. Like, I'll just quickly get in and show one before I get kicked out. This is new. This is from, I believe, Spirited Away. I'm not the biggest Ghibli fan, but I have seen a few of the movies. But even if you're not the biggest fan, you should at least get a chance to have a look at some of these stores. You may become a fan after you've entered in one of these shops. It's so cool. And it's kind of pricey, but not overly expensive. Like, it is affordable. Okay. Looks like someone got themselves a real bargain at Bunnings on the LED lights. They're everywhere. Look, as far as the eye can see. I mean, it's cool. They put in an effort. They tried to do something. But it's just like they went with one idea and they really went hard with it. Look, it's all the way over here too. I guess they put in an effort was made. That's the important thing. Alright, that's enough of me being sarcastic. I've had too many to drink. According to this here, this is the original shed where basically Toyota pretty much started. All the prototypes were created in this building. Obviously it was not here. They deconstructed it and reconstructed it here inside the museum to preserve it for the importance of Japan's entry into the motor vehicle industry. Pretty cool. Done. I waited 5 minutes for this. Actually 10 minutes. Oi! Thank you. And I got my toy. Yeah, today!
以上でバイオリン演奏を終了いたします。ありがとうございました。Now the performance is over. Thank you.
So you go straight from this temple, peace, tranquility, all that, to the temple of commercialism. Look at all this. It's crazy how packed this is.
Wow. Yay.
Yay!
Since Spacies.